I can get through this one a little quicker than the last one. It's like 40 minutes. Alright, so we're working on a 0-3-5 on the open E string to a second fret of A, open D. 0-3-5 on E, 2 on A, open D, back to an E5. Muted strikes there, same pattern. You kind of want to hit the open D and G strings before you come into your A5 there. Alright, so open D and G to second frets of D and G. I tend to hit the open A string too. And give that A string a little light mute. Now here we're just using open A, killing the D string. It ain't dead, but I'm grabbing the top half of a D5 chord, inverted D5, second fret of G, third fret of B. Second of G, second of G, a third of B, killing the D string, in that open A. Seen this go down is that we want to use that D over an F sharp, which basically I call a fucking D sharp or D major. Technically it's not, but you got all the fucking roots or the guts of it. So anyway, I don't hear that shit. And there's something corrupt in that D5, but it's not an F sharp. I don't hear it that way. You can grab that shit if that's how you hear it. You know, basically that old fucking. Like I said, D over F sharp, second fret of G, third fret of B, and the fourth fret of D. So. Yeah, I don't hear that way. Anyway. I'm hearing it. Open A, dead D, second fret of G, third fret of B. Alright, here's that little turnaround. Don't want to get too fucking stupid here, but this is a sexy tuplet. So our opening riff comes in, well, it's six notes, 6 fucking things. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. And here we're doing the same thing, and I imagine most people are showing this shit in like a 4 count. But we're sticking with the sextuplet there. Slide into that 7th fret on E. And just walking down, slide into 7 of E, come here to 5 of D. 5 of D and a 7 of A, pulling off to the 5 of A, back to our 7 on E. Now here's our count. We'll go 1, 2, 3. Alright, so kind of important to stick the landing on that shit, otherwise you're forcing it in there. It's not the right time. Hammering on from 5 to 7 on the A to E string. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what I mean? Different than just stacking 3 notes. So you do two sets of triplets. Sexy tuplet. notes, amount of notes, you're just putting a little stank on it. And have it right there. Anyway, so there you can hear it in there. Alright, so turn around here. Alright, before we come to the second fucking verse, I guess, without a break. Alright, we're sliding to that 7 on E, 5, 6, 7 on A, 5, 6, 7 on A, up to 5 on D, back to our open E. Here we're going open 2, open A, hammering on 0, 2, 5. And our same pattern here, but we're kind of stretching it down here. We're going 0, 2, 5. We're going to go second on the D string to open G. And for some reason I want to put a third, we're going to a D major chord here, open D. I want to throw this third fret on the E string. We're going for 2 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Might just be straight D chords. Now here's some separation in there though. Goes through the thing again, and that part with the 0, 2, 5 on A up to the second of D to an open G. That part only comes in before that. At the end of the song, after the solo and all that shit, there's another one. The same exact shit. Comes back in the last verse, I'm guessing. I should fucking know as much as I've learned this fucking song. This song. Alright. So before we come to the bridge there, we come back to the... We do that every time on before the bridge. Come to that 7th fret slide on E, walk up 5, 6, 7 muted on A, to the 5th of D. And then right here there's a little weird turnaround. We just open E, up to the 2nd fret of D, to the 2nd fret of A. It's just a arpeggiated E5. Broken up E5, what do you want to call it? Just like that. Kind of out of nowhere, you have to kind of, and then it goes back to... Made sense of that. Every time we come to that turnaround, it happens again in the next verse. Anyway, at the end also. But anyway, if you heard the song, you know what I'm talking about. There's no real deviations on those two fucking turnarounds there. Alright, so in this last one, go back to our original pattern there, 0, 3, 5 on A, or E, 2nd fret of A, open D. And come into it. Now you can grab this fucking third fret on E and refer to, you know, come off that, pedal off of that. A lot of fucking movement there, and it really kind of breaks it up not very well for me anyway. It doesn't sound like it on the record either. So the way I got it, you go. So did a couple A5s there, and you go to open D and G. You can hit the open B too. And all that is basically a G5 chord somewhere. There it is. So it's just G, and that's what we're wanting to hit, instead of grabbing that solo note on the third fret there. But then I'll come in and grab that third fret here. Right, so when I first time I'm going from an A5 there and a couple more. You could just use that all the way. Go from an A5 to a D5, open D chord. Right? But the way I'm hearing it is like this. So before you come to that A, after the first turnaround, you go to that. Right? Does that make sense? Here we're going to grab the second fret on this bridge, second fret A, kill the D string, grab the fourth frets of G and B, and open E. Change my strings. This is where I'm going here. It's the only way to make sense of it. I'm going to show you this way, and then another way you can grab it down there closer to the pocket. Just grabbing the, you get your D5 here, or your D major rather, and the motherfucker all the way up here. Now it's an A major. Right. Anyway, it's 9th fret of G, 10th fret of B, 9th fret of E. You're also going to hit the open A and D string. You actually play the motherfucker first. Remember that shit moving forward. So from that, just up here, A major, but you can also just throw a suspended deal here. Still open A and D. Grab the second fret of G, fifth fret of B. Throw in your fifth fret, or fifth frets of B and E. Basically, it's just an A5 chord. Add the root. Right? It's a little muted there. When you go from that first B major, a little bit of a muted tap in there before you come to the E5. Some, 3 or 4 muted taps before each change. Right. And from the B5 or a B major to A or A. Alright, now we're going to go to a E5, second frets of A and D, fourth fret of G, fifth fret of B. Basically that big fucking E5, full E5 chord there. And there's some muted taps there on those. From here we're going to go 2-4 on E to a pull off on A, second fret to open, to an open E, back to our right. Of course, I think this changes every time the fucking lick comes around, much like the other one. So the first one here, yeah, let's go with that one. We're going to hammer on 0-2 on A. Hammer on 0-2 on A, grab your first fret of the D string, kind of an E major chord there. Oh, no, actually it's B major. Anyway, right, hammer on 0-2, got the first fret of D, and we're going to go 0-2-4 on E. Right. Back to a pull off on the second fret of A to open. As that pull off on A will come to the fourth fret of A, come back to a, or go to a pull off rather, 2-1 on the D string. Here, kind of borrowing there on D, G, B, and E all the way up. And we're just going to hammer on there. We're going to 9th fret there, bar on D, G, and B. Right? We're just hammer on the 10th fret, and we're sliding up to 11. We're just sliding up that bar. And on the finish, we're just hammering on. Right? Grab that 10th fret and slide up to 11. We're going to grab the 12th fret. Right? And just come back to that bar. Alright. I'm going to go back over those licks real quick over that. Okay, so we're fucking around with a B minor, is what I'm calling it. We're using a B note. It's a work if you're trying to sort shit out and maybe do some solos or whatever, but so we're doing B and we're dropping down to a minor 7th of B. And we're going to a 4th of B, which is E. Right? It's 4th. We're going from B to A to E. Right? So now it's a minor fucking arrangement. Now I'm gonna talk some shit here. It sounds like I know theory, but I don't. My theory is the shit sounds good that's fucking there. Now theory can probably explain that, but music came out long before fucking theory. You know what I mean? So hopefully you're all maybe trying to recognize patterns, or maybe you do already, but so anyway, you're moving forward beyond just tab lessons and stuff like that. So anyway. So we're working in a B minor kind of composition here. I don't even really care to use that fucking word. We only got 3 notes, and the good thing about that is you're using just 3 notes. If your background is limited in its movement and its tones, that opens up the fucking playground for you to do all kinds of shit on the guitar. You know what I mean? If you're just throwing B5, now every B5 inside of a melody has is a major or a minor. Whether it's minor, whatever the fuck it is, but I don't know chords, so I just know minor, major chords, suspended and whatever. I don't know, fuck whatever. So anyway, nice and simple. So since it's so simple, all we gotta do is find scales that have those fucking notes in them. Starting, you know what I'm saying, our B note. That's we're hitting. That's where we're coming. You know what I'm saying? We're starting on a B, we're going down, and we're coming back to a B. Alright, so B minor. We could say if it's B minor, I'm talking about referencing to writing these fucking, you know what I'm saying? So I want you to go through and try to maybe figure out your own shit on this one. There's all kinds of avenues here. So we could say we're in B minor because that has a minor 7th in it. We can't put anything in a major scale because they all have major 7ths. We can use a mixed Lydian scale that has a minor 7th in it. So let's just say we're in B minor, just to be simple. Now, there's another thing here. You use major chords over minor compositions and back and forth and so on. I don't know how to say it. If you know a song that has a minor fucking chord or a major chord and it change it to a major, or switch it the other way around and see how shitty it sounds. It doesn't sound right at all. You change it back to the original, it's dialed right in. Anyway, each chord has a voice, but when you leave it bare, now here we're using major chords. So they have an accent to them, but we're in a minor composition. Anyway, B fucking minor. So if we're in B minor, use that 1-4-5 shit I put a video out on. B minor, our Dorian box is on our 4. One string up on the same fret. Phrygian box is in our fucking F sharp. So we got E Dorian, minor, Dorian, Phrygian. I don't know if I've said that. Anyway, so we can just build a fucking Dorian box here. Play inside of that bitch. Now Dorian box is just, fuck around too much here, but I'm trying to show some scales too. We're working between 3 different shapes here on all these scales. You got a minor shape. In this case, that's 3-4-6. That could be 5-6-8. Anything, just that same pattern. Your finger right there on top of that one. Here we got 3-4-6. That's a minor shape. That way, I'm calling that shit. I've never heard that anywhere, so I'm not saying yay me. I'm just fucking making sure I ain't trying to mislead you and shit. Anyway, minor shape. We'll go to major minor shape. 3-5-6. Alright, we're calling those minor shapes indicated somehow one way or another with a minor 3rd there. We go to a major shape. 3-5-7. It's a major shape. We're keeping that fucking 2nd there. We're going to our major 3rd. Alright, so major shape, major minor shape, okay, that's right on the way to our major, and straight minor shape. Alright, let's build this Dorian box down here. 0, 2, 3, well, we're going to call it a major minor shape. Remember, major minor shape, between our major and minor and major shape. Oh, that's a lot of fucking gibberish. Anyway, so we're going to that major minor shape for our Dorian box here. We're going to make 2 major shapes. And that's all we're going to do. Alright, there's our Dorian box. Now we can write anything inside of that. We can also use that tritone in there. Or you can leave that fucking 1st fret off of D and just go with open D. Mix some shits up. We just put a couple strings. Whatever you want to do there. So there we got a little action in the fucking D Dorian. keep moving. What do we do here? Fucking, it's not Locrian. Fucking, we could put it in B Dorian. That way we go back to 1-4-5, knowing that our 4 is a Dorian. We go down to our main root. So we're in B Dorian. That means F sharp is our minor scale. B is our Dorian scale. And C sharp is our Phrygian. That didn't mean shit, that's just a 1-4-5 there. But our 7 is the Mixolydian scale. This is our 1. Now our 7 is right there, the minor 7th. 2 frets down. Major 7th is right there. Minor 7th. Major 7th. Relationship to F sharp. That's a lot of fucking shit talking there. So anyway, if we're calling this fucking B Dorian key we're in now, I'm just trying to show you this to open up your fucking playing a little bit and let you know there's, you know, all kinds of shit out there you may or may not want to know. So we're in fucking B Dorian now. That means our minor scale is on F sharp. So E is our fucking Mixolydian. Now we just built the Dorian box with a major minor shape, 2 major shapes. Let's build our fucking Mixolydian box. It's 3 fucking major shapes. That's it. It's our Mixolydian. We only changed this fucking minor third to a major third. You know what I mean? Basically these scales, you're just walking 1 note at a time from the fucking minor scale or Locrian, whatever. That's the most minor scale to your fucking major scale. Just 1 note, 1 step at a time, you're changing 1 note. Anyway, and they stay changed. They just change again and again, and so on. Anyway, so now we can say we want to do some shit in E Mixolydian. If we throw that back in there, we're just in fucking E major, which I'm gonna get to here in a minute. So now we can just, or we could do, whatever the fuck you want to put in there. Go to the 4th. Anyway, moving on again. We got another mode here. We could say we're another key. We can say we're in. Who's Dorian? Ooh, how do I get that? Alright, I'm losing my shit here. Let's say we're in B Mixolydian. Already went through B minor, B Dorian, now we're going to say B Mixolydian. So B Mixolydian, well, just a minute ago I told you that the Mixolydian is the 7 of your scale, so that means we're now not in the key of fucking C sharp minor, but that's our main 1-4-5, C sharp, F sharp, G sharp. What that does, that fucking movement now, going from Dorian to Mixolydian in B, that means we can fucking put a E major scale over that fucking riff. Right? Now the only difference between, we just did the Mixolydian scale, right? It's 3 major shapes. Major scale is 2 major shapes. And step in 1 step on your fretboard there, the 1st fret on the D string, and make a minor shape. We just change 1 note from our Mixolydian to that. So, and there's the original one I showed you. Let's see if we're in B Mixolydian. 1 more, and then we're gonna move the fuck on and get it over with. We could also say, well, we're in a minor composition, right? But we're fucking around with minor chords. Think like a minor chord is like, or a major chord, I guess. Sorry, minor composition over a major fucking chord. Major chords over a minor composition. See, I don't even know this shit. Anyway, so now if we're just gonna leave that B major out there, that fucker's just hanging in the wind, so we can say we're in B major all of a sudden. Which really doesn't do us a whole hell of a lot. All that does is change our scale again by one more note. So now we're going to go to the Lydian scale. We could say we're in fucking E Lydian. We're going to a major shape, and then step up again like we did on the major scale. We're going to just stack two minor shapes. And there's our fucking Lydian scale. See, the only difference between that and our major is that one note. We just brought that A up to A sharp. You know what I'm saying? Major scale, Lydian. You know what I mean? Next Lydian. Alright, anyway. And those 1, 4, 5 is the same way. They're only fucking one note of difference for each other, depending on how you go about it. So anyway, that's that shit. And the when it comes to that, I'm putting that like a that turnaround. I just fucking took a big departure there. Alright. Let's save that bridge when we get there. So from that transition on that. Alright, we'll do that bullshit. Here you wanna here's how I'm gonna show you a couple ways to play this too, but this is what it sounds like to me. Bar on the 9th fret there on D, G, and B. It's the A major chord, E major chord. I'm gonna hit that 10th fret on B. Right? Basically. Right? Remember to play the son of a bitch. Alright, so here we go. That 9th fret bar there, D, G, and B. Grab that 10th fret of B. Back down to the 9th fret of B. Come down here and grab your 7th frets of G and B. And you should pull out that 7th fret of B down to the 5th fret of B. Or, yeah. Ended up on an E, A major. Alright, so. A major is open A, bar. I grab them like this in this case. On my fingers. 2nd frets of D, G, and B. Right. 7th frets of G and B. It's a D major chord. Pulling off that 7th fret on B down to the 5th. Back to the 7th of B. Alright, here. Show you, oh, I didn't show you that way to cut that bitch up. Instead of doing it here, you come down here and do it. It almost kind of sounds like that. Same shit though. You just got the chord there. It also sounds like there's a slide, and at the end of the turnaround, before you come back to the next verse, you're going to have to play it up here anyway. Because there is a slide down to the last A major. Alright? Alright, now here, I'm grabbing kind of a partial C major chord here. 2nd fret of D, open G, 1st fret of B. 2nd fret of D, open G, 1st fret of B. And we're just going to pull that shit off and grab any of those open strings on G, D, G, and B. Alright. here. We're gonna, kind of like we're doing here. You can come down here and do it. We're going to bar the second fret of D, G, and B. We're going to grab that third fret right off the bat. We're going to walk from that third fret, second fret's of D and G, third fret of B, to the second fret of B. Alright, so then we're going to go to open D and G, to a power chord on the second fret of E, to open E5. Now another way you can catch this is up here on the fifth frets of D and G. There's our C5, into a G. To a D, back to an A. Right, this is D to A, there's C to G, D to A. So C to G, D to A. Let's go back to the same ending. When I put it here, it sounds more like it's here. Plus, at the end of this lesson, I'll be talking about this. You know, when I'm doing that shit. Anyway, so. Alright. Back to our same shit. Now, here we can do a thing in E Dorian, or we can, you know, whatever. Or E Mixolydian. So here I got the first one going this way. Hammer on pull off on open E to second fret, back to open. And then we're just walking from a muted E on the third fret. Open A, 1, 0, 1, 2. And 3, 2 open on E. Now another way to do that. Put that into our Mixolydian box. For a Mixolydian, that means we're in F sharp minor. It means we can fuck around with all those tritones or whatever the fuck they are open. Those are tritones in your 1, 4, 5. Anyway, so we can fuck around and use that 2, 3, 4 combination as well as open 2, open, you know, our Mixolydian, or yeah, Mixolydian. Just throw in 2, 3, 4 here because that's part of our scale ahead of it, our F sharp minor. In that case, I'm going open 2, open on E, walking up 3, 4 on E. Hammer on, open 2 on A. I recommend you get in and fuck around too. Alright, so working that out in Mixolydian or in that Dorian box. Shits around, you know what I mean? He never played it the same way. Keep moving that idea ahead. Don't play shit the same way all the time. Break it up a little bit. So when it comes to that little thing there, you can plug that into another scale. Very good, but you get the idea, right? I hope. Ooh, that's garbage. But anyway, some throw out there. Just steal that fucking rhythm of that thing and put it in some other fingerings. Okay, I'm sticking with that saying. Put it in some different boxes. I guess would be the better way to put it. Ooh, that almost sounds a little more nasty. Alright. Same thing on the other one again. And then on the very last one, instead of coming to that 7th frets of D and G, going that way, we're going to start on the 5th fret of B and the 7th fret of G. Come back to our main riff there. So hopefully that made sense there. The first couple of times we're going. Ooh. Alright. Last time around. Alright. Let's get the last part here. This fucking taking way longer than I anticipated. But like I said, my goal isn't just to fucking try to get these songs to you as accurate as I hear them, but get you climbing up that fucking mountain of shit. Learn some more about music. So the last part there that I'm going to do, I don't have the solo. So here we're going back to that kind of hybrid C major chord there. 2nd fret of D, open G. 2nd fret of D, open G. 1st fret of B. Alright. This time we're going to go ahead and get our D chord here, our G chord, D note. Get our G chord a little more filled out. Take some of the fuzz off of it. Right, more of a G5. And all you got to do is just lift that finger off that 2nd fret of D. I showed that shit. I mean, the timing on that other thing. Right? That time I didn't bring that into the mix because I want more separation between that and that D chord coming up. All right. Forgot where I was. I can go through that. 1, 2, 3, 4, it sounds like to me. Alright, so we go between that C major and that G5. Alright, and we come up here, grab a D major, open D, 2nd fret of G, 3rd fret of B, 2nd fret of E. Kind of going back to our. Alright, so we'll go here, make that D5, and we'll let off that E string to open. Open, back to our D major. Throw our pinky up or whatever on that fucking 3rd fret of E. Alright. Back to it again. Now this one here, if you come to that, over that D, open E, back to D major, between this transition between the G and the A5, we want to let our finger off of that 2nd fret of G. First time we just left it on there. Right, so we're going right back to that D major. This time we're going to let off that 2nd fret of G. A regular kind of a, what you might be used to there on a G5 open chord. Makes the transition a little. So I made sense of that. Alright, last part here. Wasn't terribly great execution. I'm going to break this bit down in just a hot minute. We're going from an E minor, I don't give a fuck about the minors, but this is a cool thing because you're going between all these different chords and they got all the same shit in them kind of, but you're moving up the fucking, up the charts, you know what I mean? So we're just going, right, we're going from an E, F sharp, to a G, to an A, C to a G to a D. Oh. Alright. And working between minor and major fucking chords, you're using the same shit. And we're not going to use the roots of these first starts on these minor. You know, E to F sharp. Let's just do it. So we're going second frets of E and A, or A and D, to an open D, open G. Holy fuck. Second frets of A and D, inverted A5, to open G. We're just picking apart a fucking E major chord, E minor chord, up to F sharp minor. Now here's where it gets kind of cool. We fuck around with this. Then we come to a G major, coming back to that fucking open G of our E minor. Well, we didn't hold it. We're up a fucking whole couple notes here. Right? All right. So second frets at A and D, open G. Come here to the fourth frets at A and D. Just keep that same chord shape. We're just bringing it up to F sharp. Fourth frets at A and D, second fret of G. Alright, now we're going to go to second fret of A, open D and G. G open chord there. Alright, we're going to get our A. Coming back to that fourth fret of A, which is our major third of A. Oh, I'm fucking crushing this fucking lesson to fucking bits. Grabbing the second frets of fucking D and G, right? So we went from a G major, we're going to A major, right? And we come back to that hybrid C fucking major, second fret of D, open G, first fret of B, right? Then we go to open D, G, and B. We just go open D and G. We pull off on that third fret of B. So open B, grab the second fret. We gotta leave that. Well, I don't have to leave that ringing. Pull that bitch off 3 to open on B. So pull off open 3 to open on B. Second of G. And come up for an open E hammer on to 2. Open hammer on to 2 on E. Come back and grab that D note on the B string, third fret. Right? It sounds like you don't really want to pluck that bitch, you just want to hammer it on. And then keep that ringing on that G string. Second frets, A and D, open G, same shape, fourth frets A and D, second fret of G, second fret of A, open D and G, fourth fret of A, second frets of D and G, second fret of D, open G, first fret of B, open fucking D and G, D, G there, grab that third fret of B, pull off, grab that second fret of G, hammer on 0 to 2 on E, catch that third fret on D, or that third fret on B. That's it. Boy, I beat that fucker right to death. I think that's it though. Yeah. Well, I hope that's it. All right.